Billionaire CEO found broke waitress sleeping in her car with daughter. He changed everything. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Romance Rewind Stories. Before we dive into today's incredible story, I have a small favor to ask. If you're enjoying these heartwarming tales, please hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our latest uploads. It's quick, it's free, and it's the best way to support us in bringing you more emotional romance stories. And here's something I'd love to know. Where are you watching from today? Drop your city or country in the comments below. I always enjoy seeing our amazing community from around the world. Oh, and if this story touches your heart, don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps us grow and reach more people who love these kinds of tales. Now, let's get into today's story. Billionaire CEO found broke waitress sleeping in her car with daughter. He changed everything. Atlas Kingsley discovered them at 3 a.m. on a Tuesday in the parking lot of his downtown office building. He'd been working late, again, on the merger that would make his tech company, Kingsley Innovations, the largest AI development firm in North America. At 38, Atlas had built a $10 billion empire through obsessive work and zero personal life. He was heading to his car when he noticed the old Honda Civic parked in the corner of the lot, engine running despite the late hour. Something about it felt wrong. The building's security should have cleared the lot hours ago. Atlas approached the car, intending to knock on the window and tell whoever was inside to move along. Then he saw them. A woman in her late 20s, asleep in the driver's seat with her head against the window, and in the back seat, a little girl, probably 5 or 6 years old, curled up under a thin blanket, also asleep. The car's interior light was on, illuminating textbooks spread across the passenger seat, a waitress uniform draped over the back, and an empty fast food bag on the floor. They were living in this car. Atlas knocked gently on the window. The woman woke with a start, eyes wide with fear. When she saw him standing there in his expensive suit, panic flooded her face. She quickly checked on the little girl in the back seat, then cracked the window about an inch. "Please don't call the police," she said, her voice trembling. "We're not causing trouble. We'll leave right now. Just please don't call anyone." "I'm not calling the police," Atlas said. "I'm the owner of this building, Atlas Kingsley, and I'm concerned." "Are you living in your car?" The woman's jaw tightened. "Temporarily. We had some setbacks, but we're managing. We'll be out of your parking lot immediately." "Stop! I'm not kicking you out. I'm asking if you're okay." "If your daughter is okay." The woman looked at him warily, clearly trying to assess whether this was a trap. "We're fine, just going through a rough patch." "A rough patch that involves sleeping in a car in December? It's 30 degrees out. You have the engine running for heat?" "Yes, and before you lecture me about carbon monoxide, I cracked the windows. I know it's not ideal, but it's what we have right now." "What's your name?" "Why does that matter?" "Because I'm trying to help, and it's easier to help someone when you know their name." The woman hesitated, then, "Solstice. Solstice Monroe. My daughter is Celeste. She's 6. Solstice, when was the last time either of you had a real meal, or a shower, or slept in an actual bed?" "That's none of your business." "You're in my parking lot. That makes it my business. Look, I'm not trying to be intrusive, but you're clearly in crisis. Let me help." "Why, you don't know me. For all you know, I'm a scammer running some sob story." "Are you?" "No. I'm a waitress, working 2 jobs and taking online classes to finish my nursing degree. My landlord sold our building to developers. Everyone got eviction notices. I couldn't find anything I could afford in time, so we're living in my car until I save enough for first and last month's rent somewhere. It's temporary." "How long have you been in the car?" Solstice looked away. 3 weeks. 3 weeks? In December? With a 6-year-old? "I'm doing the best I can." "You think I want this for Celeste? You think I want my daughter sleeping in a car, using restaurant bathrooms to wash up, eating dollar menu food?" I'm working 16-hour days, going to school online when she's asleep, and saving every penny for an apartment. I'm trying. It's just until I can get us back inside." Atlas saw tears gathering in her eyes, the fierce pride warring with desperation, the exhaustion written in every line of her face. "Come with me," he said. "What?" "Bring Celeste. Come inside. My building has a corporate apartment on the top floor for executives who work late. It's empty, has a bed, bathroom, kitchen. You can stay there tonight, both of you. I don't accept charity. It's not charity, it's basic human decency. You're sleeping in a car with a child in freezing weather. I have an empty apartment. Connect the dots, Solstice. And what do you expect in return?" Atlas understood the implication immediately. "Absolutely nothing. I'm offering you a warm place to sleep because I'm not a monster who can walk away from a child sleeping in a car. That's it." Solstice studied his face, clearly trying to decide if he was trustworthy. Finally, she nodded. "One night, just tonight. Then we leave." "Fine. One night." Solstice gathered Celeste. The little girl woke up confused and scared and followed Atlas into the building. The executive apartment was on the 20th floor, a luxurious space with floor-to-ceiling windows, a king-size bed, full kitchen, and marble bathroom. Celeste's eyes went wide. "Mommy, is this a hotel?" "Something like that, baby. Just for tonight. There's food in the fridge," Atlas said. "Help yourself to anything. Fresh towels in the bathroom. The bed should be made up. I'll leave you both to rest." "Wait," Solstice said. "Why are you doing this? Really?" Atlas was quiet for a moment. "Because 10 years ago I was homeless. Not the same circumstances. I was fresh out of college. My startup had failed. I'd burned through my savings. I slept in my car for 2 months until I could scrape together enough for a room in a terrible motel. Someone helped me then, gave me a job, a chance, a way out. I promised myself if I ever had the resources, I'd do the same for others. Tonight that's you and Celeste." Solstice's expression softened. "You were homeless?" "I was. So I understand what you're going through. The shame, the fear, the exhaustion. And Solstice, I'm not judging you. I'm respecting you for keeping your daughter safe and fighting for a better situation. Now please, eat something, shower, sleep. We'll talk in the morning." The next morning, Atlas returned to the apartment at 8 a.m. with breakfast from the cafe downstairs. He knocked, and Solstice answered, looking transformed. Clean, rested, wearing the same clothes but somehow more like herself. "Celeste is still sleeping," she said quietly. "First real bed in 3 weeks. I couldn't let her sleep. I brought food." Atlas set down coffee and pastries. "How do you feel?" "Human again." "God, that shower was heaven. Mr. Kingsley, thank you. For last night. For seeing us and not just walking away. Call me Atlas and you're welcome. Now we need to talk about your situation. I told you. We're leaving today. I appreciate the night, but hear me out. You're working 2 waitress jobs. Studying nursing online, trying to save for an apartment while living in your car. That's not sustainable, Solstice. You're going to burn out or get sick or something worse. Let me help properly. I don't want charity. Then let's make it business. I need someone to manage the corporate apartment program. We have 5 executive apartments in this building. They need oversight, cleaning schedules, supply management, booking coordination. It's a real job. Pays $65,000 a year. Comes with free housing in one of the apartments. Interested? Solstice stared at him. You're making up a job to help me. I'm offering you a job that actually needs doing. My executive assistant has been managing the apartments on top of her other duties. She's overwhelmed. This would take that off her plate and give you stable income and housing. Plus, the hours are flexible. You could continue your nursing classes. It's mutually beneficial. Atlas, I'm a waitress. I have no experience managing properties. You've been keeping yourself and your daughter alive while working 2 jobs and going to school. That takes organizational skills, time management, problem solving. You're overqualified for this position. The question is whether you're willing to accept help. Solstice looked toward the bedroom where Celeste was sleeping. What about my daughter? I can't bring a 6-year-old to work. The building has a childcare center on the second floor for employees' kids. Celeste would be there during your work hours, free for employees. She'd be safe, supervised, and you'd be in the same building. This is too good to be true. There has to be a catch. The catch is you have to actually do the job, manage the apartments, coordinate with housekeeping, handle booking requests. It's real work, Solstice, not charity disguised as employment. Can you do it? Yes, but Atlas, why? You could hire anyone. Why offer this to me? Because you're fighting for your daughter. Because you're working yourself to death trying to build a better life. Because someone helped me once, and now I can help you. Take the job, Solstice. Let me give you the chance someone gave me. Solstice was quiet for a long moment, then nodded. Okay, I accept. But I'm paying you back somehow. When I finish my nursing degree, when I'm stable, I'm paying back your kindness. Just pass it forward someday. That's all I ask. Over the next 6 months, Solstice thrived. She managed the corporate apartments with efficiency that impressed everyone, finished her online nursing courses, and watched Celeste blossom in the building's childcare program. And somewhere between apartment inspections and scheduling meetings, Solstice and Atlas developed a friendship. Celeste asked about you today, Solstice mentioned one evening. She'd stopped by Atlas's office to drop off apartment reports, and they'd fallen into one of their long conversations. Asked if you're her dad now. What did you tell her? That you're our friend, but Atlas, she's getting attached. And honestly, so am I. That scares me. Why? Because you're Atlas Kingsley, billionaire CEO. I'm a broke single mom who was living in her car 6 months ago. We're from different worlds. Eventually you'll move on to your world, and we'll go back to ours. And Celeste will be heartbroken. So will I. Atlas stood from behind his desk, moving to sit beside Solstice on the couch. What if I don't want different worlds? What if I want this, you, Celeste, these conversations, this connection? Solstice, I'm falling for you. You can't fall for me. I'm your employee. Then you're fired, effective immediately. Now I'm just a man telling a woman he's fallen for her. Atlas, you can't fire me just to date me. That's insane. Fine, you're not fired. But I'm restructuring your position. You report to building management, not me. Problem solved. Now can I please tell you that I've been falling for you since that first night, when you were terrified but still protecting your daughter. When you had nothing but still had dignity and strength. Solstice, you're extraordinary. I lived in my car. You survived impossible circumstances while protecting your child. That's not a failure. That's heroism, and I'm in love with the woman strong enough to do that. What about Celeste? If this doesn't work, then we figure it out like adults. But Solstice, I'm already attached to Celeste. She's smart, funny, resilient like her mother. If you'll let me, I'd like to be part of both your lives, not as your employer or benefactor, as your partner. This is crazy. The best things usually are. So, are you willing to try? Solstice looked at him, this billionaire who'd found her at her lowest and seen her worth instead of her circumstances. Yes, God help me, yes. They dated carefully, navigating the complicated situation. Atlas met Celeste officially as Mommy's boyfriend, which the 6-year-old accepted with surprising ease. You're nicer than my real dad, Celeste announced at their first family dinner. Celeste! Solstice looked mortified. It's true, Mommy. My real dad left before I was born. Atlas actually wants to be here. That makes him better. Atlas knelt to Celeste's level. Your real dad made a mistake leaving you and your mom, but I'm here now, and I'm not going anywhere. Is that okay with you? Can I call you Atlas, Dad? You can call me whatever feels right to you. Hey, Atlas, Dad, can we have ice cream now? A year after finding them in his parking lot, Atlas proposed. Not at some fancy restaurant, but in the corporate apartment where they'd first stayed, the place that had given them shelter when they had none. Solstice Monroe, you came into my life sleeping in a car with your daughter. You were at your lowest point, but still had more strength than anyone I'd ever met. You've spent this year rebuilding your life, finishing your nursing degree, being an incredible mother, and somewhere along the way, you became my family. Will you marry me? Will you let me officially be Celeste's Atlas dad and your husband? Yes, Solstice said through tears. But Atlas, I need you to know, I'm not marrying you for your money. I would have fallen for you even if you were still the homeless guy sleeping in his car. I know, that's why I'm marrying you. Because you see me, not my bank account, because you're strong enough to rebuild from nothing, because you're the best mother I've ever seen, and because I love you exactly as you are. Celeste appeared from the bedroom, rubbing her eyes. Are we getting married? Can I be flower girl? Yes and yes, Atlas said, pulling her into the hug. Their wedding was meaningful, but not ostentatious. They got married at the homeless shelter where Atlas had once stayed, with a reception that fed every person there that night. This is where you want to get married? Atlas's business associates asked, confused. This is where people who've lost everything find hope, Solstice replied. Where better to start a marriage than a place that reminds us that circumstances don't define worth? During the ceremony, the shelter director gave a speech. 2 years ago, Solstice was sleeping in her car with her daughter. Atlas found them in his parking lot and changed everything. Today, Solstice has her nursing degree, a stable job, a home, and Atlas has a family. That's what love looks like. Seeing someone's potential when they can't see it themselves. 3 years after that night in the parking lot, Atlas and Solstice stood in their home watching Celeste play in the yard. They'd moved from the corporate apartment to a real house, not ostentatious, but theirs. Remember when you found us in the parking lot? Solstice asked, leaning against him. How could I forget? You looked terrified but still protective of Celeste, still had your dignity despite having nothing. I had my car, my daughter, and about $40. That was everything I owned in the world. And now I have a home, a career, a family. I have everything that actually matters, and it started because you saw us and didn't walk away. I almost did. I was tired, focused on work, ready to ignore whatever was in that car. But something made me check. Best decision of my life. Mine too. Atlas, thank you. For seeing us. For helping us. For loving us. Thank you for letting me. For teaching Celeste that people can be kind. For showing me what actually matters beyond balance sheets and business deals. Solstice, you saved me as much as I saved you. We saved each other. Because sometimes finding someone sleeping in their car in your parking lot is the beginning of everything. Sometimes the worst circumstances reveal the strongest people, and sometimes the person you help becomes the person you can't imagine living without, proving that kindness is never wasted and love can grow from the most unlikely places. And that's where our story ends today. What did you think? Did Atlas and Solstice's story of parking lot discovery leading to family touch your heart? Let us know in the comments what your favorite moment was. If you enjoyed this story, we have so many more waiting for you. Check out our playlist for more heartwarming romance tales that will make you believe in love all over again. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and give us a thumbs up. Your support means everything to us. Until next time, keep believing in love, keep believing in second chances, and remember, the best stories are the ones that remind us we all deserve our happily ever after. See you in the next story.